popular.
쉬운데 웹캠 그거 못 찾아서 그런 거 같아.
Like a Twitch.
지금 들고 있는 거죠.
오케이. 들고 있어. 한 번만 봐줘. 그 다음에 한 번만 공유해줘.
Twitch. Twitch.
We'll just say the T streaming site.
Yeah,
T streaming site.
T streaming site with the giant bubble box with the eyes in it.
It's from China or it's from US? UK?
Yes, I think.
연결됐는데? 됐지? 시작할게요. 네.
I'm pretty sure the audience also heard that too.
Yeah.
First half of the show, just please explain, what the stream.
I'm just so glad to be inside of this suit again because the last one I wore was really hot. This is really comfortable.
Even though now there's an air conditioner, it doesn't work. Okay, good.
I always turn it off. It's always freezing when I come in.
Not very hot. I'm okay. You're okay, right?
I'm good with that. I can use some more freezing wind. Just on my side.
And welcome back, and now it's time for part 2 where we're discussing media trends. Every week we talk about a different media trend, and we have our live show, We Talk and Talk. With me in the studio we have Dennis and Tim. How are you guys doing?
Good morning. How's it going? I'm pretty well. Yeah, how's it going?
You don't really sound well.
Yeah, you're right. Just so, Sunday morning. All right. Okay, how's it going, guys?
I feel great.
You feel great?
Yeah, I couldn't really sleep.
But I cannot see your face. You're really great, or not, because your face is,
always smiling.
Yeah, behind mask.
See, that's how you guys can tell I'm really great because I didn't sleep an inch.
You didn't sleep at all?
Here's the thing. I was like lying down on my bed and trying to sleep, and that feeling that you are actually, trying to sleep at the same time your body doesn't go to the sleep and you're just kind of staying on the surface.
Yep, I know it well.
Yeah. That's how I was this morning. Really great.
Got it. Okay. How's it going, James?
Yeah, not bad. A very rainy weather.
Yeah, we have to talk about rain.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to talk about rain, Like a whole 3 main Asian countries are suffering from flood. We don't want to, salt that wound if you want.
James, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into today's topic.
All right.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about why are streamers popular. So, as well as games, all fields that can be met in our daily life, such as cooking, music, cartoons, and travel, are becoming media. And a number of single creators who produce various contents gradually becoming more and more popular with the public. So, online streamers, it means a person who live streams themselves, either playing a video game or as a real life hobby or profession. And also, they create streaming media such as live streams. They are popular, and many teenagers and kids are dreaming of becoming the streamer. So what do you think about today's topic?
Well, quite interesting because many teenagers want to be kind of an online streamer, right? Because they can be rich or they can be popular. Both of them? Which way?
Both.
Both,
yeah.
I mean, not necessarily rich, because becoming rich as a streamer is really difficult, especially nowadays.
Yes,
there's so many competitions.
You have to be right at the top of the field.
Yeah.
To be really rich. But you could I think quite a lot of streamers that make a good living.
Minus the taxation from, big Redbox and some of the other, big streaming websites.
I mean, yes, there's issues they have to go through, but.
Yeah, but I think the most appealing part for streaming, especially to the young people nowadays, is the fact that you're your own boss. Like, you're not working under some kind of, big organization or company. And also at the same time, you're mostly doing what you like playing video games or cooking or, generally talking about interesting topic that you think it is interesting. And if you have like a right sense of humor to entertain the audience, well, you might give it a shot, and who knows? You might become popular enough to be a big figure and maybe, appear on the news one day for right reasons, I hope.
So we can call the NoTube is kind of the online streaming platform, right?
Yes, it's a popular place for streamers. Another place is the T.
T
is like
the purple one,
a purple logo.
Are there any?
Notube is kind of built for videos, but people do stream on it, whereas the T website is it's for streaming.
Yeah, it is quite specialized, and most of the big figures are usually stationed in there as their nice little home, you know.
Yeah, a lot of streamers that's where they stream, but then they'll post videos to Notube.
Got two channels, right? First platform was kind of the streaming service platform, and then just record the video and then just post.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way to increase your revenue, right? Because you can just, for the same amount of work as all you're doing is recording what you're already doing, you can then post it to Notube and hopefully generate more ad revenue.
Double ways of income.
Yeah,
good. Are there any other online streaming platform team in Korea, or I just know that Africa TV is kind of.
Well, for the fact there is a book that looks like a human face is also has some sort of streaming platform that can be provided for the old-time users, because that website has been mostly replaced by the others nowadays. So I don't actually know how many people still using their website with the book with the face of human, but
yeah, I don't know numbers.
The numbers are really low compared to the other big ones, but there are features. And I also know that some Korean websites also provide streaming services, because let's just say the other big websites like the Y something and some of the others don't really have a lot of options for the language. I mean, they have a language options for Spanish and other European language. In that regard, they really provide a great translation, but for many Asian languages, I'm not too sure.
I'll listen to the story for mentioning kind of the full name. Okay, I didn't know. All right, ATV. All right, okay. There is a kind of major media company, the MBC. Can I say MBC? All right, they had a kind of like a pilot program of the online streaming service. It's kind of My Little Television that show.
Really, from that studio?
Yeah, it
kind of senses a lot of stuff.
But I was quite up for it, but nowadays now ATV or the T or a YouTube channel, a YTube channel. I'm sorry, I'm not up for it quite much. Okay, sorry, listeners. I'm really confused to say the full name or Please understand. Yeah. So
you have children, Dennis. How would you feel if your child told you they wanted to be a streamer?
It depends, because if they really they have my daughter has a really good talent or big interest on it, maybe I can be supportive. But just gaming or the other things, not very not productive, less productive. I don't want to be I don't want supportive. That's okay. All right. It depends on some topics or this field. Okay. How about you, James? You have children too.
Yeah, I mean, my issue would be where it is quite a cutthroat and difficult profession to get into, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but it seems like it's not an easy way to make a living. And it's very easy for it to become, you can all of a sudden you can be doing well, and all of a sudden it goes against you, and you're done.
You're right.
No one will watch you anymore.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's quite a difficult and not very stable way to make a living. Plus, it's very much young people based. So I'd be worried about its longevity.
Yeah, that's what I usually thought too. Like back in the day, I used to thought these streamers were just beggars with multiple steps.
Yeah.
Practically speaking, I mean, isn't it? They're practically begging for your money through the entertaining video they make. I mean, many people, suggest, well, it is not so different from the other comedy shows on TV. But I'm like, I don't know, still. But nowadays, I kind of have more respect for them, because I start to realize how many work they actually put into their videos and other, the areas they have to take care of, like their public images and advertising, and also editing the videos to make sure that it reaches the right audience. So yeah, nowadays I kind of respect them more, but still, yeah, the longevity of the job and the stability of the platform itself, like who knows how long this red box gonna last? You never know, like what's gonna happen in the next 10 or 20 years, right?
I think the jobs in the field is kind of multifaceted, right? There are just three classes. One is kind of top the online streamer, and one is just to follow them to be rich, and then one is just just hearing and listening and then just chatting, right? Okay. So we have to clarify which one is more productive for our society and which one is less productive. So maybe GFN can focus on emphasize, right? More productive side, right, team? Right?
Oh, yes.
I know this quite productive.
Oh, yeah, it's all right.
Come on, man. So we have, I think this topic we have sometimes related to the GFN, what GFN can do, right?
What do you mean? What GFN can do?
Well, GFN has a kind of campaign section, or we have other segments, so we have to keep talking about online stream because many teenagers there are big interest of online streaming service or that kind of channels, right? They want to be the online streamer, right? Many of I think teenagers. Of course, several years ago, so most of teenagers they wanted to be kind of the building owner. Okay, but now their dreams are changing into the online streamer, and because it has more interest and excitement, and then they can get more money. All right, so kind just is kind of related to kind of economic part too.
Okay, so let's come back to that, but let's take a moment and have our song break. So we've got the song Sunflower by Post Malone.
So you didn't let him read it?
Oh, no.
I mean, sorry. I guess you're going to.
Sorry for saying the full name.
No, it's okay. But I think you're trying to connect it somehow to the GFN. So it was a good try.
Shooting a laser to you. Sorry.
I guess it was too formal, in my opinion. Start talking about economy.
We'll have to come back to it a bit. So I'm thinking what we could do is we can perhaps bring it back to GFN. Can't really. It's not really streaming.
No.
We can't do streaming because that's not what it is.
But our show is streaming.
So we could, instead do something like maybe we need to, perhaps GFN should do some like education about what actually it means to be a streamer. Because, that maybe we should, like I was going to bring it back with say like, I think kids don't realize how much work actually is involved with being a streamer because they think they just turn on the computer, put their game on, play.
You're right.
And talk.
Superficially,
that's not what it is at all. It's like with so many jobs, it seems really easy, but it ain't.
That's a good point.
So maybe like that's something that GFN could do is to teach them.
That's really
okay,
good
you
point.
want to be a streamer? Okay, let's talk about it. Like with the kids. How actually do you become a streamer?
That's really good. That's really good.
Actually, I was thinking more of a line, maybe creating a little streaming segment because streaming doesn't have to be really long sometimes. So maybe I was thinking maybe if GFN has like affordable fund to create a little streaming team, and maybe they can try some new project for like maybe 1 hour stream with introducing Jeolla province traditional cuisine and how to make them while trying to provide a little comedic insight in it.
All right, so let's. I'll just say, okay. Anybody got any ideas for where GFN can do? You say yours.
Educational side.
You want to do the educational side, and then I'll come in with lots of all the kids think it's really easy. And
got it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Okay, so let's keep talking about today's topic. So, our show, well, not our show, but GFN makes lots of content for NoTube, and we do live shows. Is there any way we could introduce streaming for GFN? GFN can do streaming?
How about education part?
So first, I want to ask you guys some question. What kind of streaming do you watch if you watch streamers at all?
The one I watch, I guess I only really watch one, is when I'm working. I've got two screens in my office at work, so I have my work on one screen and I have a streaming going on the other. And I don't watch the live one because it's based in America, so it's the middle of the night, so I just watch the video. But it's my favorite video game. I guess I can say the name of it, Civilization.
Typical.
I love that game, so I quite like having him, listening to him talk about playing the game as I'm working.
Oh, I see.
Good, great.
What?
So that's why you have 2 monitors, right?
It's not the reason why I have 2 monitors, but
Just kidding.
It's all right. To some Korean boomers, they don't understand the necessity of having 2 monitors for one computer. It's kind of their thing. In my case, I really enjoy cooking shows.
Really?
What do you mean, really? Don't you know that I really have a
I
great
never
cooking
imagined
skills?
that you're really
do you
up
mean like
for it.
do you mean like is it mukbang or cooking?
Cooking, not
Cooking, not a
mukbang.
mukbang, right?
I am not interested in someone shoveling food after food into their mouths for I don't know how long.
So Tim, are you good at cooking?
I mean, Miranda, from the other show.
Yeah, we
you
had
can,
it. We had
yeah,
it.
you
just
can
earlier.
actually ask her about my cooking because sometimes I actually cook some stuff and brought it to
Wow.
church for a little potluck.
Mhm.
So my skill is well renowned.
Quite a
Thank you very
second
much.
surprise.
So here I was
a
thinking.
lot of people do like cooking shows. They find it
Thank
very
you.
very relaxing. But then also, other people do like mukbang, and obviously you two.
Yeah, I
don't-
prefer
don't-
mukbang. Okay, because
I
I,
mean,
don't like cooking.
I don't watch it myself, but I can kind of understand why someone who lives alone would want to do it. I can kind of understand it.
I
That's
was
really sad.
I used to be military cook, so over a year. Yeah, every day I just cooked. So now I'm so sick of cooking, so I don't want cooking.
So I
So,
also
so that was your job in the army.
Wait a minute, you cooked in the military
Yeah, there was
service for a
one
whole 2
cookies.
years?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Get out of
Now
here.
I'm sick of it. Okay. Just for survivor, I have to cook, so I can cook.
I mean, in my case, I watch them because whenever I see interesting recipes, I want to try them, and I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people think I'm some kind of, Russian spy because I usually cook Russian cuisine.
Mm.
But obviously, I am not, right, Tavarish? So I have a suggestion. Forget about that. So GFN is basically a radio studio mostly for Jeolla province and Gwangju, right?
Mm.
And I was maybe thinking maybe we can try this new idea if we can have some affordable fun. Maybe we can some real money just hanging around, so we can try some new project. And if they're interested in the idea of streaming doesn't have to be really long. Sometimes it can be only like 1 hour, maybe even half an hour in many cases.
Right. Yep.
So maybe we can provide some kind of segment where we do the cooking streaming, introducing some really interesting or maybe quite delicious looking Jeolla province traditional food. With some nice, comedy and some humor in it, which means we're gonna hire some really good cook at the same time who can actually humor the audience. And maybe it can be Korean because I realized the audience don't really care like who is actually streaming as long as they're entertaining and funny. They don't really mind. They don't really mind the language barriers as long as there's some subtitles or any way they can actually get into the sense of it. I mean, I'm telling you, there nowadays something called like a virtual idols on streaming stuff.
The fake people. Right?
Yeah, the fake. And I'm telling you, I look at them and I just look at the comment section and other reaction part, and I'm like, this is just fake people doing some really meaningless stuff. Like sometimes the video is only like 30 seconds long, them just laughing or maybe singing, and that has like thousands of views. And I'm like, huh. So what do you think of my idea?
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, and it could be you can stream, but we could also in many ways, like what's that term we talked about it, ASMR.
Yeah.
For the radio a bit, with the cooking sounds for the radio.
I guess that could work.
Could be song from the
If you only you two knew where people usually look for ASMR.
Well, now GFN has already a few just online streaming service, right? Just like our show, right? Sunday Talk, right? Okay, maybe we can just open up to more the sections, kind of maybe there are some popular radio stations in GFN too, right? Or City of Light or the JD's channel, right? Maybe we can open kind of streaming service too. Yeah, I think it might be really helpful.
So stream the show.
Yeah, stream the show and totally just goes to the 100% streaming service.
Yeah, I guess the big problem with mixing radio and stream is it's difficult because you've got to be able to see what the people are saying, right? A big part of streaming is the chatting that is going on is people watch the show.
Yeah,
That's the main key.
And that's the main part of streaming is the people then writing something, and the host will. Well, I mean, sometimes they just ignore it, but a lot of the time they interact with the chat, and that's difficult to do with radio because the listeners couldn't see the chat.
Got it.
That's why I'm suggesting a short time period streaming as an experiment, because you also gotta have a little foundation base before you can actually start kicking out to the bigger stuff, right? So yeah, I'm suggesting just some kind of new project that might be profitable or not, but I think it's worth the shot, seeing how today's, how should I say, the trend is going to that direction. It's almost like today is all about being liked by other people on the internet, in my opinion, especially among the young people.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at all the Instagram. I mean, the huge box with the camera. I don't know how to describe the icon. Sorry about that part. I mean, yeah, just look at something like that. People post pictures all the time on the website. They always post something about what they travel, what they ate, even though most of the strangers don't care. But whenever they get some likes, that makes them feel valuable. That makes them feel confident. That makes them feel that they're important in this world and that they're special. I think that's all the kicks about young people nowadays. So why not try one of those trends?
Well, that was something I think that GFN could do, is not actually do a stream, but to in some way educate and do a program about being a streamer. So I think there's two approaches you could do. So you were just talking about how, kids following the likes and that adrenaline shot they get as they see the number go up and up. That's okay when the numbers are going up and they're okay. It's the problem that a lot of streamers have is when the numbers are going down.
Yeah,
it's a huge kick, right? And I think a lot of them need a lot of counseling and education about how to handle that up and down.
It's quite educational. Just maybe GFN can handle it, right? On the radio show, we can help.
Yeah, well, I mean, the best way to handle it is to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are watching our show is always complaining about, oh, who is the menacing-looking guy in the middle who always wear the mask and never show his face and always talk negative about some of the topics. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people like that. And my personal advice to people who are, suffering from dislikes or some kind of internet abuse, my advice is just ignore it usually, unless it's like a really serious. You usually just don't care about them and don't bother by them. As long as it's not something like a legal accusation or something that you actually did something solid wrong, then you have nothing to worry about it. There are many quote unquote trolls on the internet, so that's bound to be happen.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people they struggle with that.
Yeah.
The negative comments.
Yeah, you're right.
It can be a big hit to people, especially young people.
Yeah, even hosts and even viewers, they don't know how much different when the numbers goes up and numbers go down. We have to just see itself 100% what is the reality, right? What happens behind the video and camera, right? That is quite useful.
I mean, another part of it could be the education. Like, how do you actually become a streamer? It sounds like it's a really easy job.
Correct.
It sounds like you turn the computer on, load up your favorite game, play and talk.
And nobody sees.
And that's not what it's like.
It's totally really different. What we expect, right?
Yeah,
totally different. Yeah. So many teenagers, maybe they don't know the real reality, right? What happened, right? Just they see, video, that's good. That looks really nice, and I want to be there. That's totally different.
Yeah. So I think guys still got lots to talk about, but unfortunately we run out of time.
Okay, that was a really nice topic to talk.
Oh, thank you. I suggested
Thanks to
it.
Tim. Thanks to Tim.
Good suggestion, Tim. So that was all for our Talk and Talk segment with Tim and Dennis, so discussing media trends. So thanks for coming in, guys.
Always thank you for having us. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we'll see you at the same time next week.
Bye.
Nice topic, Tim.
I don't know. I just thought it was going to be a little bit funny to talk about streaming because it's really popular. And they say yes. I was like,
고생하셨습니다.
다음 주에 봬요.
well, have a great weekend, Jake.
Yeah, you too. careful with all the rain.
네. 그죠? 이대로 갖고 나오면 돼요? 네.
So with going out from Miranda, I don't think I did it very well. So can I do this bit again?
제임스가 이 파트 다시 하고 싶어요.
Just the last paragraph, yeah.
파트 1? 이게 어떻게요? 아니요. 여기 이 부분, 여기만 넘어가.